Hi, it's Natalie, the Modern Hippie Mama, and I'm here with your tip of the week. Today I wanted to talk about two different remedies. So one is for bee stings. We were out for Jonah's birthday last week, and the kids were playing outside, and Sky picked up a bee that he thought had passed on to a new dimension, and he picked it up and he got stung on his finger, and that put a little bit of a damper on his playing time. So fortunately, I have my bag of tricks with me in my car, and we walked over, got some Appease. So it's called A-P-I, well, it's spelled A-P-I-S, Appease Malefica. And this one is specifically for bee stings, for anything that's angry, red, swollen, stinging, maybe water-filled. And I gave it to him, 3 little pellets, under the tongue, and within minutes, he was all good. I also happen to have, I make my own little essential oil blend with some witch hazel, like a little spray, and I keep that in my pocketbook with me, and so I also sprayed that on there just to kind of help cool the inflammation on the actual finger. So the combination of the Appease and the little spray that I make helped him within minutes, and that was a game changer because we were out to dinner and we were having fun, and of course I didn't want him to be hurting. And I figured, you know what, I should probably share this with some people because I'm sure that you will be in a similar situation one day if you haven't already been. So that's a really fast, easy, and effective way to take care of a bee sting. I also happened to use that same remedy with a friend of mine when I was in the jungle a few weeks ago. When we arrived, she had a pretty swollen foot. I believe it was from a spider bite. And just in looking at it, I was like, oh, I think Appease will probably take care of that. And so we did it. She took some Appease, a couple doses. So because her foot was really swollen and it had been like that for a couple of days, she needed multiple doses. Whereas with Sky, he was all good on the first dose. So you kind of have to see what the situation is like to know the dosing. And another remedy I wanted to chat with you about today is called Arsenicum album. And this one you'll notice is not the brand Boron. I have 120, or actually, well, it doesn't matter, 100 something remedies that I had ordered a long time ago from India. And so this is empty because I used it all this week. Arsenicum album. So that one is for food poisoning. And what's really interesting about that particular remedy is that in our case, I used it with Jonah because he had eaten something that was cross-contaminated. He was at a friend's house. And sometimes when that happens and you are someone who eats really cleanly a lot and all the time, and then you have something that's been either exposed to or cross-contaminated with gluten, for instance, or dairy, then you can still have a reaction because your body is so clean that it shows you when you've had something that it's not used to. It says, hey, look, my body doesn't like that, and this is how I'm going to show you. With a cough, with a fever, with the not feeling well, whatever it is, the body expresses itself differently in every person. And so this one is a really good one to have on hand. So even if you're not a super clean eater and you don't necessarily have immediate reactions in your body that you can see is from a particular food. If you've eaten some sushi or some raw fish or anything, I don't know, anything that could present as symptoms of food poisoning, this is an excellent remedy. And one of the ways that you can tell if this remedy is working is that within 10 minutes, you'll be very, very sleepy and want to fall asleep. So not all of the remedies work that way, meaning a remedy can still be effective and working and you don't feel sleepy. But with this particular remedy, Arsenicum album, if you become very sleepy afterwards, or if your child or friend or husband, whoever takes it, becomes very sleepy, you know, hey, great, I got the right remedy. Excuse me. So those are the two that I wanted to share with you today, Arsenicum and Appease, bee stings, and food poisoning. Hopefully that was helpful. Oh, one more thing I want to say is if it's not food poisoning, but you're having symptoms like food poisoning, so tearing pains in the stomach, violent flu-like, that's pretty extreme, this would still be a really good remedy for you. So there you have it. peace, love, and all that jazz.